Hey Divine Ones, it's your girl Jay Arias, and in this Aura Deep Dive, we're going to be taking a look at Mr. Tupac Shakur, rest in power. Seriously, so before we get into this, I want to say everything I'm bringing forth is my intuitive opinion, and all my services, so I help you read your aura, so if that's something that sparks your interest, all the links will be in the bio. I also help you integrate your energetic blueprint by an energetic tune-up, or I can help you remember your starseed origins, or help you remember the flame that you came from. So yeah, if any of that interests you, all my links will be in the bio. So let's get into this. So Tupac carried a defined root, sacral, solar plexus, throat, and third eye. Okay, so this is more rare. You know what I'm saying? Usually someone will come in with a few defined chakras. So what do I mean by defined chakra? So if someone has a defined chakra, you will notice that the themes that are related or associated with that chakra will be very prevalent for them, or it will be something that they almost have to embody, integrate within their life, or it's just something that's kind of set up, or you'll just notice it's just a part of their essence. Okay, so this is a rare combination that marks someone who came in with purpose, voice, and vision. He was an indigo soul through and through, okay? So he was definitely ahead of his time, otherworldly connections. Yeah, so let me explain the picture down below. So the symbols, so the 3 O's, this tells me that he is an Orion starseed. So yes, obviously I was looking at his aura. No, I didn't see these exact symbols, but I connecting to his energy, his essence, I could tell you he's an Orion starseed. So again, if you would like an aura reading, you could get these two. So the cosmic mother, father, and child trinity triad, that tells me, when I place this onto a photo, this tells me that this was a soul that intended or came in, or did, which he definitely did, come in and anchor in the new earth codes to bring that online, okay? So the harp shows me Lyran, beginnings, heart courage, the protector frequency he had, okay? Sirius is the triangle with 3 swirls in it, okay? This is about messenger, justice, fire truth. Basically Sirius B is where the Orifem templates are stored, so the indigo templates are at and protected. Okay, so let's get into his aura. So this is so much fun. I'm just connecting to his essence. I just feel so amped up, like a lot of chi, a lot of life force this man had, right? So let's get into this. So carnelian and citrine core. So really, when I was like, okay, what's Tupac's aura? Because I get it through claircognizant, like I get downloads, and then like I'll see it in my mind's eye, then I'll rearrange it or something like that. I'll rearrange it to what I get to my downloads, okay? And instantly I got like fire. I'm like thinking like fire. So he had red, orange, yellow, but it makes so much sense for who he is, right? And then obviously I just knew he was an indigo child because he was just ahead of his time, and how prophetic he was and intuitive he was, and he had that seer archetype, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. But this carnelian and citrine core, what do I mean by that, right? So the carnelian is that red and orange mix, okay? So together, when they're so blended carefully together, you know, this is about ancestral drive, which is more of the red, right? Emotional alchemy, which is about the orange. Lived experience transmuted into creation. So lived experience is the red, the root chakra. And then transmuted into creation, that is the sacral chakra. Passion, survival wisdom, that gets passed through from your ancestors, right? Read from him, right? For him, yeah. So that was a root chakra thing. Someone who turns pain into message. Okay, so sorry, my phone is about to die, but the pain in the root chakra, he turning that into his message, turning that into emotional alchemy. That's the sacral. So that's the carnelian, the red orange blend for him. Okay, that's how that showed, just to say the least, right? Because we're multidimensional, multifaceted beings, you know. And there's so much more to him than just what I'm bringing forth, right? So citrine is the yellow, okay? So this is his core frequency, okay? This is about purpose, mission, expression, willpower, leadership through the solar plexus, a destiny-coded voice. And I could have even added the gold shimmer throughout, which tells you that this tells me that he had leadership codes and he was meant to be seen or held in a high regards to bring forth his message, his purpose, his frequency. So be it, right? Everyone's going to be different. So then going up, the indigo, the blue, and the purple mix, okay? So this, again, tells me he was intuitive, perceptive, an old soul, right? Ahead of his time. seer behind the veil, visionary, consciousness, you know what I'm saying? He was open-minded. He had the seer archetype, you know what I mean? This is why his words felt beyond the era he lived in, right? So the blue flame frequency, this automatically tells me that he emanated from the blue flame first. This is what that tells me. But he's someone who speaks truth with emotional depth. He had a calming presence to be around, even though he was very, you know what I'm saying, so much full of life and stuff like that. He probably was someone you could depend on, you know, someone who was reliable, things like that. And through his blue flame frequency, since he was not a collective figure, but a public figure on a collective level, right? He purified collective wounds through his voice, you know, bringing awareness to things, you know, channeled lived experience into wisdom. Used language as transformation. That's the throat center being defined and being activated, which obviously he's passed away, so it's not activated, but he went through many different blue flame activations in his life, and it's because he had such a defined throat center, and he's connected to the blue flame. So he carried the indigo mind, the Lyran heart, the Syrian voice, and the Orion awareness, and the hypervigilance of Orion, right? All wrapped in that fiery citrine carnelian core, just to say the least, right? Mr. Tupac Shakur was a revolutionary soul, through and through, okay? And his essence totally reads that. His aura reading totally says it. So I feel like what you saw is what you got with Mr. Tupac. So I feel like that's why so many people love him today. It's his realness, his authenticity, and yeah, his message, his rawness, and what he brought forth, right? So Omni-love, absolute healing. If you guys would like an aura reading, all my information is in the bio, like I said, and I will talk to you guys in the next transmission.